Hello, humans and cephalopods. My name is Scood, and welcome to our Doki Literature Club Plus finale. Oh boy, it feels good to be able to say that honestly and genuinely without any doubts in my mind that we are unable to finish it tonight. Because I know for a fact that I have enough time to do these last four. And then there's an epilogue, and we're done. That's it. We're gonna be done. Man, so we weren't here for last time. We kind of explored Yuri joining the club, Natsuki joining the club, and Monika kind of being unsure about Natsuki as a person. Then we got into Sayori and Natsuki kind of being standoffish about how friendly Sayori's being to her. It looks like next we're gonna get Yuri and Monika's interaction, and then Natsuki and Yuri. As far as the gallery goes, for this one over here, we just need to finish the side story. For these down here, we just need to finish the side stories. This should be for the second to last, the last, and then these two should be on the epilogue. This one down here should be in one of these next two. And then one of these is finish all side stories. One of them is going to be sit through 15 monologues from Monika. And one of them is going to be click through Yuri's thing without skipping. All right. We're almost done. Let's do it. Am I bothering you? No. Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work. So it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air, but the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. The visual that just put in my head is beautiful. Maybe I should say something. No need, they just ran out of cookie. What a waste. It's so stupid. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had many chances to talk one-on-one, have we? Though that may be partially my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage. Well, what about during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh. But I like it that way. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of the series. There are still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long books suit you well, since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I'll read anything with depth and maturity. Oh yeah? Even like romance? Well, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Monika lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do too. Maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely and people were mean to me a lot. So it kind of felt like, please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I just got super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really? Even if it was just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Oh my god, Yuri. Ouch. Sorry, I swear I didn't mean that. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things in my past too, you know. Things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. There's nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interests. It makes me think she'll likely grow out of it too. Hey, were you talking about me? No, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard until then. Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into this one series that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and wanted to be myself. Hey, kind of like Yuri. Monica? Sorry. That's completely wrong, so... It's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you through a lot of hard times. You know it. Wow, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series? Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes long, so I can say I've read more than you. Not that I have the money for that. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. It really depends on the manga. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. Oh, these two. It's not boring. Chill, I said for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion, I just think it's too convoluted. Yeah, Yuri, honestly, I'm with Natsuki for the most part here. Like, I don't agree with her opinion, but like, yeah, she's allowed to have her opinion. If you think it's convoluted and difficult or whatever, yeah, fine. Yuri's just being insecure about her interests. Diary, are those from the floor? Oh god, fucking hell. Wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. Just do it. The oils are there even if you can't see them. Fine. Diary trots out the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly, she was so condescending. I didn't take it that way, honestly. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me. So how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things you hate about it? Okay, valid point. I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like. Especially in a literature club, so I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay, well, this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary, I just wish to be respected. That then. Either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. Yeah, I never thought those two would get along, but you kind of see it eventually. Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. Aren't you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if it came off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the literature club, don't you think? I like this song. This is a new one, isn't it? Yeah, the side story OST so far, the soundtrack for it, has been giving me like massive Maple Story vibes. I'm sure we're gonna have differences in opinion on a lot, so I need to make sure we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. Sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thought. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversation, basically anything. For example, Sayori, what's your favorite food? I have them organized by category. Should I start with the snacks, or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh, geez. Okay, how about your favorite fruit? That's easy. Cherries. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious. Whoa, that's a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty. How does it make you feel? I don't know, sad? Defensive, maybe? Yeah, I got defensive. See, the reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like, I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How is that objective when you just said it was only your own opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like, Sayori, let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. Good. Oh my god. The thing is, Sayori doesn't take this as like a practice like thing. She's taking it as like serious. She's like, wait, okay, good. You don't mean that? So what if instead of that I said like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. Okay, so cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. This time around, instead of talking about cherries, I just talked about my feelings, and Sayori didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not gonna quiz you or something. I know that. She just likes taking notes. I was just... Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you'd like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to put all my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help turn your differences into a positive experience, rather than an argument. Right, Sayori? Whatever you say, cherry hater. Oh my god, I'm telling you. She thinks that Monica is serious. Oh, come on. Sayori, I actually like cherries. Yep. I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped. Yo, welcome in, Dave. Honestly, I'm not a fan of cherries either. I'm sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. I'll bring you some cherries. A cherry sundae, okay? All right. You are welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. Buying your people's loyalty. How deplorable. Oh, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. That was, I mean, I was reading and not keeping track of them. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So now that we have the gist of it, how about we try it with something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion. Yuri, do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not. No. Aw, how come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. It's just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Respectable? Yuri's expression changes at that word. As Monica recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like... It's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. See, Yuri, that's not the way to... No, Yuri. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well, that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were going to say that manga's for children or something. Like, I don't hear enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life, and I really prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Oh my god, Yuri, you are so bad at this language thing. This is like actually painful to sit through right here. Excuse me? Okay, hold on. Can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki? Nobody is immature. Okay, Isayori, you are the last person that needs to be saying that. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love them both in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But... I mean, the thing about... This is ridiculous. Do you see why I didn't want to participate in this? I knew it was going to make people upset. Okay, so the way Monica should be handling this, don't make it into a language class, you know? That's just gonna make people, like, try to bend the rules to their whim. Like, oh, look, I'm doing it the way you told me to, but I'm still being a jerk about it. No, you just gotta be like, hey, don't be a dick. This is how you're sounding right now. Maybe try this. It's totally cool that you feel that way, but you really need to fix your wording. Like, she's on the right track. It's just her approach is very cold when it should be a little bit more personal, I guess. I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. But I always got the impression that you secretly looked down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making assumptions. Excuse me. Had a lot of chips and salsa today. It's getting caught in my throat. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the things that I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself and trying to mind my own business. Wow, sounds familiar. Exactly. What? Have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all of my interests immature. You can't... I mean, again, I'm agree that Natsuki's being kind of bitchy, but I feel like she has the winning argument. Please stop. Please? You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Jesus fucking Christ, Yuri. Yuri's piercing words send the club room into a choked silence as she gathers her thing. She leaves. Holy crap. I've never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so... I was just saying. How did this happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it, that's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things. It's about just recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you were trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her, not just the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Wow, I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out, because I could just move on now. But it's fine, I promise. Let's just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga or whatever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. That's really rich coming from Monica. Like, considering what happens in the future, obviously. Not considering Monica who she is now, but like what happens later, that is fucking funny. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other the least out of anyone, and this is the reason. As Sayori and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really just have to come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that. She knows Sayori doesn't either. And it ends, right? Nope. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. End. End of side story. Boom. So we got a new song. Let's Teamwork. Yeah, that's the new one. All right, Reflection Part 1 is done. We got Reflection Part 2, Self-Love Part 1 and 2. And then we got our home stretch. But first, we got to take a hydration break. Give me a sec. All right, let's go. A new day arrives. Sayori arrives at the club room earlier than usual, that is, not late. As she enters, it appears to be empty still. So, she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Sayori has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings on the paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because a ship sailed away. Yo. Yeah. Natsuki? Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. But it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. I doubt you want me listening in on your poetry thing. Yeah. Thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish that up then? Oh no, I wasn't. I mean, I just do it whenever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri's too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so... Oh. Geez, does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? You can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you get a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while, but as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. I just want us to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we all just ignore it and move on. I don't want to be bothered by this. It's so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter anyway. Besides, it makes me feel really guilty, and I hate that too. It's okay to have feelings. It doesn't make you weak. Let's figure this out together. Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Well, I was happy by the way things were before we had to have that conversation yesterday. Oh, Dave, are you still here, by the way? Something I need to ask you, if you were here. What part of the conversation made you upset? Okay, what I need from you, can you look into Weekend with Yuri? Like the Act 2 one where she's dead? You said there was a trick to it to make it go a little bit faster. Just what is the method to it? Just so I know when I get to it. My initial thought is just spam click and spacebar as fast as I can, but if there's something more to it, just let me know. Was it Yuri being mean about the manga? Maybe. I doubt it though. Because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the time, but I just brush it off and ignore them. But something about it really got to me this time, and I hate that I'm letting that happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? Oh, I also need to, I realize now that the time on the event on the Discord is not long enough. I'm gonna push that back another hour. I mean, well, maybe I hate it that she thinks she's so much better than me just because she likes to pretend to be all just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide that they don't like me or manga or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri's book a chance? Huh, after this? Absolutely not. Or obviously not. What about before this? Well, I would until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. I see. But you know, I like Yuri's books. Also, Natsuki, you're literally doing what you're accusing Yuri of. Like, oh, you know, she doesn't even give it a chance. Would I try it? Yeah, but I probably wouldn't like it. Like, she's doing the exact same thing. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Sayori shakes her head. I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go with. And the fantasy has a lot to interpret and uncover, and it's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. So I love them both. And I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. And I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think. Oh. Dramatic music change. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like, first it was with Monica when I was new to the club, and then it was you, and now it's Yuri. And I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk, and if they just realized that, we could at least get along. But nobody else has this problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everybody's just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. And I don't know why, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki? Sayori puts a comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know? And sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kind of communication. And it feels like you magically connect with them. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other or to get the communication wrong. Ooh, I am currently dealing with this, actually. It's something that Yuri struggles with a lot, too. Actually, can I, like, screenshot this? Nah. I'm gonna keep going. It can be really hard. It takes a lot of, like, reflection and self-awareness. And vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? I'm not sure what I found before. People are recommending either running it with auto at top dialogue speed, which will be slow but not have to be interacted with, or using an auto clicker, which is faster than you can do it yourself. I can keep looking to see if I find the one I saw last time, though. If you feel like it. I mean, that's more or less what I assumed it would be. Tell me about that part of you. Well, it sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Also, Dave, how did you do it? Did you just click it normally? Or did you, like, auto it? Like, my friends and I guess my dad, like, when I don't get good grades or even stupid things, like if my room isn't clean, what am I gonna do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then it's just letting them win. I'm better than that. You autoed it, okay. I'm better than all of them. So things always have to be everyone else's fault. It feels like if something goes wrong and there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry and I find ways to blame everyone else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? If I said that, then I would sound really full of myself. No, our thoughts and our feelings are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them if we want to learn more about themselves. That's a part of vulnerability, you know, accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I have been learning to do this so much. This is super important right here. You're going to feel things that, like, logically, you're like, no, that's not what I'm about. And you just have to fucking realize it and figure out why. That's a really tough thing to come to terms with. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person because my feelings just want to tell me that I'm so much better than her. That she's a judgmental know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase and that I'm just way above that garbage. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You are not your feelings. I mean, to some extent you are. But I don't think it's terrible to feel terrible things. I mean, it's more about how you express it rather than how you feel it, you know? Like, if you feel intense jealousy of someone, if you're feeling petty towards someone, that's fine. But if you act on those feelings, that's what sets it apart. You are not your feelings. Say that to yourself out loud. Fine. I am not my feelings. The way I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same house and you got to see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you're going to run into each other every now and then, and it's going to make you feel like poop. So the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with. Called depression. Depression? But you're like the happiest person I know. Yeah, the depressed people are usually the happiest seeming ones. Okay, here, let me read what you just sent me. If you hit load and load up the last autosave, it skips forward some. If you do it enough times, it'll go through it in just a few seconds and you get all the rewards. If you hit load and load up the last autosave, it skips forward. And you just keep doing load, autosave, load, autosave, load, autosave. Interesting. Why would someone name your roommate Depression? I am not my feelings. I want to be a good person like you. Aw, you little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Natsuki remained silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Despite Sayuri's kind reassurance, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her, as though flowing from a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No, it wasn't as though she was inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover an old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Oh, fucking mood right there. Oh, there we go. Last background. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. Oh, I'm not going to yell at you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair for me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time, I won't just try to jump in and solve everyone's problem. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the details of the argument. I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a second, then manages a nod. Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns and I can't get away from them. What kind of negative thought patterns? Oh, dude, you know what would be fucking interesting? Sorry, there's a reason that this specifically made me think this. What if they made a Doki Doki side story, right? About Monica messing with the other girls in the main game. Right? Like explaining how she made Sayori push herself to kill herself. How she practiced the piano every day. Her, like, what she was actually seeing in the game code. Like, what led her to mess with the files with Yuri and everything in Act 2. That would be so interesting. There's gotta be a mod for that. There has to be. And if there's not, I wish I knew even a fraction of coding in order to get it done. Like, everyone hates me. Especially Natsuki. Oh yeah, so the reason I even thought of that was right here. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns and I can't get away from them. And Monica going, what kind of negative thought patterns? I imagine like that being part of the mod, you know? And then like from there it's like, oh, I see, like Monica's taking notes, like, oh, so this is what Yuri's going through. I wonder how I can stoke that a little bit more. How I can take off limiters and stuff like that. Oh, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because Monica thinks back to the time she herself found herself in an altercation with Natsuki. And how a display of maturity from Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's really not a bad person. In fact, I think she can be really thoughtful and considerate. She just, well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. Oh, but that means the burden is on me. And I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs on her hair. It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. I think anyone would like you if they had the chance to get to know you. Well, unfortunately, the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. Because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me behind my back. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind. So I did, and then she hated me anyway. That was enough to confirm my fears. But Sayori and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right? Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. Whoa, okay. End of scene right there. Just, oh, Natsuki no longer exists. That's not what I meant, really. I was just wondering if you had an opinion of her. I do. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person. So for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. And it makes me think bad things about her. I love the happy music while she's talking about how awful and insufferable Natsuki is. She brings out the worst in me. Someone like her who is below me, such a sophisticated person, is so useless. Da da dun da dun dun da da. But everyone seems to like her, so the only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong again. And my feelings about her are wrong. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential. No, Yuri. Feelings are never wrong. Well, they're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? They're just a state of being that we don't always have control over. But that doesn't mean they have to control us. I feel like that's something I learned around when I first started the club. You see, I got a new roommate. We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things, or we can, you know, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I can never be mad at you for just feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a good opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature and so good with people. I feel like such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri, I'm far from perfect. But these are learned skills. They didn't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to, like, reflect on yourself and separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. That's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate it to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it reminds me of me. Because I know what it feels like. I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defensive mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. But I'm just tired of that getting in the way. I can't stand it when peace is disturbed like this. Yo, no worries, Ramen. Welcome in. Better late than never, I always say. The party don't truly start until you get here. Granted, that goes for everyone. There is a new party that begins upon entry of each new chat member. So it's just never-ending parties starting everyone. You know, this is gone. It's done. We can't. This isn't making sense. Let's move on. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when the piece is disturbed, right? Because the literature club should be happy for everyone. I was gonna say, unless everyone who has ever watched the stream was here, there's no party. Oh, that's never gonna happen ever again, unfortunately. Monica looks at Yuri in adoration. I feel like Sayuri must be rubbing off on me because I really want to hug you now. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. No, I mean... Oh my god, are we gonna get Yuri and Monica hugging as a CG? Well, if you wanted to, then I wouldn't really mind, so... Monica pulls Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle, and I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you. Show me the hug, you fucking cowards. I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm going to write her a letter. Oh, a letter? What a great idea. Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forget to say all the important things, and I say things I don't mean. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri's face hardens with determination. People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayori. My personality just isn't suited for that, and I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I never would have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposite in a lot of ways, but I'm friends with her because she puts so much effort into understanding me, so that we can get along. I think it was the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience, and I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not. That there's a type of person or a magical formula I have to follow in order to make someone like me. And that's just like me to think that. always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. Yuri shakes her head. Friendship happens when you think about the other person, when you offer time and effort to understand them and respect them, and trust that they also want to be a good person. That's what I learned through my observations in the literature club. Observations? Monika's caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's unusual to hear her suddenly talking about the club like this. But Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayori too. And it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monika never thought much of it, but in the past weeks, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others. You know, this really makes a lot of sense that Yuri would be the next focus after Sayori from the first act. Sayori being the vice president of Act 1. And when Act 2 rolls around, Yuri is the focus of the act. And I believe Yuri becomes the vice president for Act 2 once Sayori's out of the picture, doesn't she? Seeing all this makes it make a lot more sense too. He was the second member, like, you know, third member, whatever, second new member after Sayori. And seems to be the closest to Monika out of all of them, except for Sayori, obviously. So this is very interesting. A lot of nice little backstory to it. Always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. Oh, is that it? No, we're gonna get the letter and everything. It's true, Sayori and Monika are naturally more comfortable with other people and can more easily work through situations of conflict. Actually, this may be the end of this side story. But that doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses and the capacity to improve. And the first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. It's something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monika can recognize as an incredible trait. And with that, her confidence in the club is restored. Aww, there we go. Oh, nope, there's more. A very shy girl with long, pretty hair is wandering the bustling lunchtime hallways, her fists pressed into her collarbone. When she... Sorry, her fists pressed into her collarbone? I'm trying to reenact that right now, and I'm just like... Okay, I guess I can see what they're going for there. When she finds the literature club president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monika is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected, this was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monika glances towards the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri, what a surprise to see you during lunch. Yuri squeaks a response. One moment. Sorry, I'm finding myself needing to clear my throat a lot more when I do these streams because I talk so much. Please help me. What? Is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Thank goodness. I thought there was some kind of emergency. Monika briefly glances over her shoulder at her other friend. Do you want some help? We can go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine, I promise. We weren't really doing anything. One sec. Monika trots back into her classroom, says something like, I gotta go, to her friends, then grabs a pen off her desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Yuri nods and follows Monika as the two of them set off. How are you today? Huh? Me? Well, yes. Oh gosh, sorry. I was just caught off guard. I'm doing well today, just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. How come? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just easily distracted. I get really sucked into things and start neglecting the time. Me too, I do that too. Hey, this classroom is empty. Let's go in here. After peering inside, Monika opens a classroom door and the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Monika pulls two chairs up to the same desk, then obeys as Monika beckons to her to take a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. If it's my chance to do something good, I need to take initiative. Gosh, you must be really determined. I know how hard it is to step outside of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. Aw, there's our CG. Look at that. Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat. Yeah. Now I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monica playfully rubs her shoulder. They're touching shoulders. They're touching fucking shoulders, guys. Oh my god, they're touching shoulders. Sorry, I'm just being silly, I guess. Anyway, how about we start by listing the different things you want to say to her? Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. Oh, it's okay. How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? But never mind, I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a moment longer, her tension evident. Then she writes the word reflection. Hey, that's the name of the side story. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this towards each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayori and Monica. That's me! Yes, it is. So they said the thing! Oh my god, they said the thing! Yuri thinks. I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. The same goes for Natsuki too. We started off as pretty hostile to each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted, but she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. Why are they sitting so... Anyway. I want to do that too. So what kind of things do you want to do for her? I want to do the same things for her that I like to receive. I like it when people respond positively to the things I talk about and not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like when you and Sayori trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay. Yuri writes some things down. I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable, so we should make sure the letter puts her first. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps to just tell someone all the things that they're doing wrong. I think first you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them, and admit the things that you feel you could do better. Then finally, you ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for the structure? It could be 3 paragraphs, one for each of those points. I like that. My thoughts were so disorganized, I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. Oh, they look like they're about to smooch, don't they? They are looking into each other's eyes. They are touching shoulders. They are very close to each other. They are going to smooch. You've done so much more than I have, you know? You spend so much time reflecting and being open-minded. That's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is helping you put it on a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. But as she lets go, she's caught by surprise when Yuri curls her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. Oh, they are definitely gonna smooch. For a while, they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. Yesterday, you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. What was that? The thing about how feelings aren't right or wrong, and that they're just a state of being we need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It's also made up of their past experiences and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people as actual people, rather than as an insignificant side character who are out to get me somehow. Is that how you felt about Natsuki? Yuri nods. But in reality, everyone is always trying their best. Everyone wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it with her arm. I have to be able to read it to help out, you know. It's okay. My thoughts are a lot more organized now after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting it on paper, I realize I'd really prefer others not to read it. Yuri laughs softly to herself, a rare expression. Monica fucking pissed off. I'm kidding. kind of glad to hear that, actually. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing. I've done enough damage. But it's also been so wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but... Yuri smiles. Yeah, I guess I was wrong. Monica continues. I will always be terrible at these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. But listening to you so much has really helped me make some sense of things. So just don't call it damage, please. Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. I can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks and all I got was real friends who value me. What the fuck? What a waste of time. Is that a joke? Of course it is. I still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please never change. As you wish. Yuri glances at the clock. I literally just did the same thing. We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish? Before the end of the day? Probably. But I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you'd like. Yuri nods. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course, I promise. She reads it. Thank you. Yuri exhales and the two stand up. Excuse me. I'll message you when it's ready. Monica nods. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. Yuri returns a nod and the two depart. And that's the end of the side story? Yep. Wow, they actually left that on like a little bit of a cliffhanger. I said a little bit of a teamwork. Let's listen to Hug Energy for now. So what do we get? We got this. We got tea, we got books, we got flowers, we got tea. So we got all the wallpapers. We got all the poems. We got 3 more CGs to go. This one's super cute. Okay, what's everyone's favorite CG? So here's what we got. We got Sayori 1, Yuri 1, Natsuki 1, Sayori 2, Natsuki 2, Yuri 2, Yuri 3, Natsuki 3, Sayori 3. We got just Monica, trust, understanding, respect, balance, and reflection. Out of all of them in the game, I think my absolute favorite is either Sayori 3, the hug scene, or the one with Monica and Natsuki. I think that was respect. Yeah, I think those are my 2 favorites. That one and this one. I don't know if it's because of what comes right after this, but I just love the framing of this shot as well. Knowing what comes right after too just makes it so much more powerful. Sayori 1, 2, or Natsuki 3. Natsuki in the second to last CG looks weird. Oh, this one? It's a little odd, yeah. So Sayori 1 and 2. I wonder why those are your favorites. Or Natsuki 3. Of course, Dave. Never change, buddy. Look, we got the last background. Oh man, we're almost done. We just got to do self-love part 1 and 2. Then there's an epilogue that opens up after I beat these. Then we'll get an achievement. We'll finish up most of... I think my last achievements are what? Let's see. Complete all side stories is one of them. Listen to Monica's dialogue is another one. And achieve 100% data collection will be the last one. So we're almost done. We're almost done. We're gonna get them all right now, too. It's only been 1 day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki, with Monica's help. Also, this is the first time that a side story has trickled over into the next pairing of side stories. Like, I guess all of them are connected, but this is the first time that they very specifically did not conclude their story, you know? Like, it was like, here is the problem, it leads up to this, and then it's solved. This one was like, all right, we're leading up to the solution, but we're going to continue it in the next one. Continue it in the next part one, I should say. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because the passing by of students was making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because this staircase is under maintenance, no student would have any reason for coming here. Yeah, all of them are really good. Agreed, Ramen. I think the side story CGs are all my favorites, though, in general. Like, I think all of them go just a step above the base game CGs. And I think that's intentional. And I think it's because the girls are interacting with each other for the first time in CGs, and it's not always about, like, the protagonist. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. Of course. What are you doing here? I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seems to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea. But instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant. Really, I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you, so... Not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. Well, I can leave if you want. Then why did you sit down? She literally is like, I'm gonna go sit down now, but like, hey, I can leave. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Wait, it was Natsuki that walked over and sat down, right? Natsuki approaches the staircase and sits herself down near Yuri. I can leave if you want. Okay. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. And the two just sit there for a long time. The entire weekend, in fact. Nobody wants to say the first thing or move. They just stay there for fucking the entire weekend. Monica comes back and they're just still sitting in the same exact position, like, what the fuck happened here? The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. Yeah, they're respecting each other's space in a way. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club. Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to, eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. End of side story. It's just like that, super short. It's the next day. They're still at the staircase. They have not moved. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Have you been here all night? Yuri nods. Today she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this because there aren't any people around here. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I'm here? Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, like, they all just assumed I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly, but I just don't want it to come up again now after I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. Oof. Almost mood. I have a friend who's open to manga. He doesn't read it, but he's open to it. And Sayuri, but that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it, you know what I mean? Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least just look like books, so you don't have to feel like everyone's constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful, especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have online friends. Since middle school, actually. I was especially desperate back then. Hold up 1 second. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. Sometimes I feel like me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Oh, whatever. We were all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank God I used a pseudonym. But I liked it at the time. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if a few years from now we'll think the same thing about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you uncomfortable? No, of course not. I don't care what other people think about me. Especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcibly slaps her own cheek. That's me from the future coming to terms with me right now. That seems like something I would fucking do. I always talk about how I'm like at war with my past and future selves. That's so funny. Also, ow, I didn't mean to do it that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react. I would do the same thing right now, but I don't really feel like I need to smack my past self for any reason. Nor do I think that this current self needs to be smacked. But then to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. He turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile, as though it was a really funny... I mean, Yuri doing that is pretty funny. Smack my future self for things I haven't done yet? Alright, I just sent a slap into the future. At some point in my future, I am going to smack myself and be like, this is my past self coming back to me and being like, this is stupid what I'm doing right now. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had it in you. I don't. I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny? Sorry, I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to your reading. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that again, but if you want to keep smacking yourself, I'm not going to stop you. The conversation ends quickly and Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour, but the whole time Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret over having so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. You'll get more in the future. It'll be fine. You're back. Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. Another day has passed. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. That is sweet. Oh, that's so cute. Oh god, my heart. What, like, for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I would have drank it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought, never mind. What I meant to say is thank you. And then it's a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do. It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong a lot too. So I believe you. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably, knowing Yuri, she probably poisoned it. She was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something nice for you next time. Please don't feel obligated. I want to. I want to do nice things too. Okay. Thank you. You can thank me after I figure out how to do something nice. I'll do it then too. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. It just reminds me of how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, I don't know, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. It's only gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it, because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I don't like or something. Honestly, Ramen, I don't recommend literally smacking yourself, but I do recommend giving yourself a mental slap once in a while. If you genuinely feel like you're about to do something stupid, just like, be like, all right, pep talk time. Why are you doing this? What is the benefit of this? What is gonna come out of this? How is this gonna help anything? What is this gonna mean for me down the road? You just have to be like, okay, stop in your tracks, stop it. What the fuck are you doing? And is it worth it? Whatever you're about to do. It's hard to catch yourself sometimes, but you really need to like start realizing that in your everyday life. It takes a lot. It takes so much to catch those things though, but it's really, really healthy to do so, I think. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. But I just have a hard time doing that lately. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not going to demand for everyone around me to change. But yeah, I know. Monika and Sayori really don't agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm talking about it. It's okay. I like listening. What? Listening to other people's problems? Yes. That's weird. Sorry. I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird? No, that's not weird. I probably just misunderstood. So, I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? If you'd like. Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some things that you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends. And they really like my baking. And it's fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot. And we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. Oh, I'm bad at a lot of those things. So, are those all things that are important to you? Well, kinda, but they're not things I need to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that, but I'm still friends with them too. Well, Sayori really likes your baking, and she makes you laugh, and she complains a lot. That doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? How about you don't talk that way about my friends that you don't know anything about? Oh boy. No, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine. As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that. I'm sorry. Natsuki sits back down. You can't just compare friends like that and like measure who's better than who. Everyone's different. I'm sorry. I just don't like people who want to hurt you. A moment of silence stretches between them. They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. Fun. I don't like that. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like it? Just don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help with social conflict. Like how Monica can. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. That's what Monica and Sayori never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong and they're all like, "Aw, what's wrong? Is everything okay?" I just want to mind my own business sometimes and decide myself if I want to talk about things. The only one who understands that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. Oh, you don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. Thank you. You're also nice. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's so weird because I always thought of myself as someone who could just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset or I want to say something mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. Natsuki offers her fidgeting. Offer. Hey, would you like to be fidgeting with the pages of your book, please? Here, I'm giving you the offer right now, and you have the opportunity to. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive, like I want to be a part of it. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated. Especially when it comes to following social conventions and group interactions. I just don't really understand it, and I have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection in ways that I've never felt with real people. So in that way, it can sometimes feel more real than real life. Really? It's that hard for you to be around people, like, all the time? Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversation and saying jokes, all of that, I don't know what to do, and I just disengage. Oh. That doesn't get lonely? I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one, and I have online friends too, of course. Do you ever wish that you could be friends with the characters in your books? All the time. Sometimes so badly that it makes my heart ache. Yeah, me too. Really? A lot. Like, more than anything. After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills the stairway. Silence fills the stairwell once more. But it's a mutual silence. One full of understanding. Damn, you're down to the last one. No new files, mail, pictures, nothing. Here we go. Hey. Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well, lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen them in a while, which I had come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Easy. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I would share with them too. Ah, cupcakes. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes. You know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown with dark green frosting, immaculately shaped into floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. How pretty. I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it, I just made them. Ah, I just thought that because green is Monika's favorite color, right? Well, yeah, but that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. I love green tea. Oh, do you? It was just a random idea I wanted to try, so... Don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them, from past experience. Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh, well, I don't know. It kind of just always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got like super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it's something that I always knew I liked anyway. It's like baking is like an art. But when you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would just be eaten afterwards. Well, yeah, maybe you're too practical for that. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like unconditionally. Everyone's always so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel... valued? Yeah, I guess that. So you were able to make up with your friends today? There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool, and that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now when I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh, I see. The cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles at Yuri clenches a fist. Yeah, I see what's going on here. Yuri feels like Natsuki only comes here as like a backup plan or an excuse or something. I'm glad that the situation is resolved and that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah. Me too. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. I know that the cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me, but it's the best I can do. You can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box. Then she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know. And I liked them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded. But I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No, they were for making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. Oh. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Natsuki, I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm so difficult. And I can't think of even a single thing about myself that somebody would like. Do all these girls deal with the exact same type of depression? That's all I'm getting out of all this. Like, they obviously have their own insecurities and everything. But it always comes back to this. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, like to be nice and do the things you wrote about in the letter. I knew if I tried in the club, Sayuri and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of those negative things about... wow. English just left my brain. I think a lot of those negative thoughts, too. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, sure. I need to drink some water. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say, and later I feel like I said all the wrong things. And I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So I understand some of that through my own experience. And that's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person, so don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so... Like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around, and you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh. And you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead, and you care a lot about other people, and just a lot of things. Oh. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked, and don't you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile, then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time, but then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like, I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles while she thinks to herself. What would you do hypothetically if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with a little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. And I still feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what's making me feel so confused. Because I'm threatened out of the things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are. It really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know what's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something scary. Oh, if that is not an entire mood. To do what? You know, to end it. With them? Natsuki nods. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. I wasn't until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it. So much that it feels like that's just how your life is. A sunk cost fallacy? Is that what that's called? Yeah, exactly. when you're more focused on your past investment into a decision, like, oh, you've been doing so much in this one decision for so long that it would be a waste to throw it all away at this point. Throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. It makes me feel sick to think about. I mean, I'm going through that right now, honestly, with my current job. I've been there for like, what, a year? My last job, I was there for like 10 years almost. And I was at that point where it's like, well, I've been in this job for so long. It was so hard to leave that job. Ultimately, though, doing that kind of thing is healthy. Learning to realize when you're stuck in a sunk cost fallacy and realizing that maybe that change will be healthy for you. I'm looking into new work right now. I'm looking into getting back into streaming. I'm looking to move eventually. And it's so hard and scary because, you know, I'm so used to this life as I have it currently. But I'm not happy. So why keep living this way, you know? Sometimes it's not obvious what's making you unhappy too. You just have to really reflect on like everything. Natsuki sighs. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know. A lot of things. Like being alone, not having anyone to talk to or hang out with, not being able to replace what I have with them, and I don't want them to hate me, and I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically, but... Yuri clenches her fist. Natsuki? What? If anyone even thinks to cause you harm, I will throw my book at them. Okay, I will unleash hell upon them. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I liked that. That's all. Oh. Well, I meant it. It's literally the exact opposite of before. Yuri laughed and Natsuki's like, don't laugh at me. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. As the conversation lapses, Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. And when you finally just end something that doesn't feel right, it's a huge relief, honestly. That's true. Though I will say for a while, it does feel weird. Like, it'll feel like, wait, I don't have to go back to this. I don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to, like, you know, experience this in my life anymore. And it feels like something's missing. It feels like you almost get withdrawal from the thing that you've left. But as time goes on, you feel so much more relief. Like, wow, I don't have to deal with that anymore. I left my job and lived with my sister for a year. And granted, living there wasn't the best either. But not having to work at that workplace anymore, not having to get yelled at for not doing the job just right or whatever, now working at a place where they actually speak to me and talk to me like I'm a human. Granted, there's still things about this job that I'm not happy about. That's why I'm looking for new work, but I will say it is a huge improvement from my last one. It's not perfect, and no job ever will be, but there's always room for improvement, you know? Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. I'm sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. I'm guessing this is one more scene here. Ah, you're here first today. And you brought some reading material. Natsuki's sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Is this literally talking about Doki Doki right here? Because I'm at the end of the side stories. Like, it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. It makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of this series. That sucks. I'm on the last side story of this series. I fucking get it. Like, yeah, there's mods and shit, but like... Okay. Hold on, I need to respond to this group chat real quick. Hold on. Sorry, we're talking about FNAF in a group chat right now, the new FNAF game. Which I would stream, as a friend recommended, but also I've never played a FNAF game. I usually only watch them. And I think that's fine. If you really want to watch a FNAF stream, there's plenty of people streaming it, I'm sure. It's not for me. Okay, back to this though. So what did we just say? I'm about to experience, that sucks, okay. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I'd want it to go on forever. Maybe. I'm kind of feeling that relief with Doki Doki, honestly. There are some things that I wish could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome? Like Doki Doki? Is this so? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, definitely. I can think of at least one thing I've read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through and the ending really sucked. Like Doki. Okay, I'm done with that joke now. So it sucks when something good has to end, but it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. I guess it sucks either way. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. I'm gonna mute this group chat until I finish stream. So let's mute for 1 hour. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like with friends at the mall or downtown or whatever? I'm not a total shut-in, you know. Oh, my bad for making assumptions. Well, I'm sure I go out less often than other people. Like you and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Board game group? It doesn't matter. It's just more nerdy stuff. Why do you ask anyway? I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down. Can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier telling them. And then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of their responses. And now it feels like I'm dying inside. Yep, this is what I'm talking about. That feeling that something is wrong. Oh, that's... I'm sorry. Totally unsure of what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusually hard breathing fills the air. It gets louder and louder until it echoes through the hallway. Yuri looks up. Jump scare. Okay, why am I like this? Then she speaks again, barely above a whisper. Help me. I feel sick and I want to hit my head against things. Please help me. I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? She sees buff Natsuki. Yes. What the fuck? She just gets so upset that she lost her friends that she just starts like building up muscle, like lifting weights to cope with the stress and the anxiety of losing her friends. Natsuki meekly nods through her rapid breath. I'm sorry, I know she's having a panic attack here, but like her rapid breath, I'm just picturing like head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the step behind her. And then she puts her hands on Natsuki's shoulders. All right, we're gonna get a CG here. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes much more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe right now. You're in a good and safe space where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri's only touching Natsuki's shoulders, she can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. Beneath her hand, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good. Let's keep going. This is a very, very good coping mechanism for anxiety attacks, by the way. In case anyone's curious, forcing someone to take slow, deep breaths when they're panicking, it doesn't always like 100% help, but it can calm people down very effectively. One moment. Now I'm getting another ping. What is this? Oh, I genuinely don't care about that. Yuri breathes in once more and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world. This is literally my coping mechanisms right now. Hold on, if what she says right now... Oh, let's just see. Okay, never mind. Not where I thought she was going with this. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out, and the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Actually, no, this is pretty similar to what I was thinking. Yeah, the breathing exercise is a good place to start. After that, I usually tell people to take in your surroundings more than anything. Like, where are you right now? Are you feeling okay in terms of like physical comfort? Like, have you showered recently? Have you eaten? Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Are you somewhere safe currently? You know, are you feeling warm or maybe too cold? Is it too hot? And like, just like focus on those things and kind of like piece together what you can fix on that realm, you know? Like, oh, I am kind of hungry. I haven't eaten all day. Okay, go get something to eat. That'll help a little bit. I haven't been drinking water. Okay, well, have some water. That will help a little bit. Oh, you haven't used the bathroom yet. Like, whatever. You know, like, just all those little things. Focus on that. And once you're taking care of a lot of your base needs, your mental needs kind of start to ease up a little bit because you're like, there's less pressure on me. There's less everyday stress. And like, yes, this one thing that's stressing me out is still there, but I'm more comfortable physically, and that can make you more comfortable mentally. It's not a catch-all solution, and it won't 100% fix it all the time, but it can help. By now, the worst of it is past, but Yuri is determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her. I also want to add on to that. I'm sorry, this is really important to me, so I'm going to continue. Another thing to take into account, too, is, like, where specifically you are. Like, oh, I'm upset that, I'm afraid of my friends' reactions. Okay, well, are your friends here right now? Who are you with right now? In this case, Natsuki is with Yuri, someone who's listening and trying to calm her down. She's in school, it's lunchtime, she's in a stairwell, there's no one else around, you know? And just kind of like take in all that stuff. Like, the problem that you're worried about is not in this moment. So try to breathe and enjoy this moment. And if that moment comes, face it when that time comes. Okay, we'll move on now. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees and her breathing is mostly steadied. Then she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. We didn't get a CG there. We are on part 2, right? Of self-love? I've honestly lost track. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is that going to keep happening? It may, or it may not. We can take measurements of each other, you know, if you want to. No, we can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I could have gotten through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. CG? As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to be so openly share her thoughts, but something about Natsuki of all people makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it that it's taken a long time for Yuri to finally realize it. And because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted. demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the tumultuous journey of learning to love yourself. Self-love, part 2. Oh, look at them. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know why, but their proportions relative to the staircase seems very off. Maybe that is accurate, and I just haven't seen stairs in a while. There, yeah, right there. Well, to be fair, it's under construction. No one's gonna come this way. Do you really mean that? You're probably gonna regret saying that if you do. How so? Because I'm probably gonna have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around to a lot of places. I see. But you already said it, so you can't take it back now. Well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. I know a good ice cream place. Oh? That means you'll finally figure out my favorite ice cream flavor. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, you don't remember? The first day that you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor, but for me, you said you had no idea. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. Oh wait, yes I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. It's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. How is that fancy? Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Hey, strawberry's my favorite. Yeah, she remembered. What a coincidence. Oh, that's so fucking sweet. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have the sick feeling in my stomach, but it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything better I could be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that will make this easy for me. And you already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote, but I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about, except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better, the way I like to be treated, and the kinds of friends that I want to have. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place, even though I was so scared of causing more problems. I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially. Oh, well, not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. No, Natsuki, what do you mean? She begins to shake Natsuki by the shoulders violently. What did you mean, Natsuki? I may have tracked you down first, with the help of Sayuri. But you said I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to, whatever, you know what I'm saying. Well, I guess I'm glad that you worked up the courage, even if it was in your own way. I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it will make things better in the long run. I think anyone would be proud of you for it. Anyone? You mean like you? Yes. Oh wait, is she getting emotional, or is that a smirk? I can't tell. Like me. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine. Just a little then. That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now. And then they throw all of this away in Act 1 of the main game, where she just starts harassing Yuri for having complicated writing style. But I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings. Actually, yeah, wait, come on. They're being best friends here, but then immediately when they start sharing their poems, Yuri's like, oh, Natsuki's are so simple and childish and cute. And Natsuki's like, Yuri, your poems are so complicated and fancy. I couldn't possibly, you don't need to be so fancy and deep. They immediately go back into it. Thanks. So I don't think it's a direct continuation. I feel like there's some nuance and like something different happening here. Yeah. There's definitely, like, this is probably them as characters. They're genuine, like, what's supposed to happen. And then the main game might be like an experimental version where they take the same characters, not having this backstory. Maybe occasionally they have memories of the backstory, you know? I don't know. It's complicated. I think there's some weird shit going on, though, in that regard. Is that it? The two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch, but a new feeling hangs in the air, a feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another literature club meeting, where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. That will be the epilogue. Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another. Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yuri thinks to herself, since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Together. Aww. Well, what did we just get? Because we still have an epilogue, yeah? Oh yeah, we got that. These two are from the epilogue. And then we get one down here from finishing it as well. Equals! Oh, that's cute. Is this as long as a 2-parter? I feel like this should be as long as 1 part, or maybe half the length. I think it should just be like a quick thing. But let's see. Okay, everyone. We're going to be taking a break from the usual activities today. I was thinking since people are starting to talk about the festival, it's a good time for us to go over the general direction of the club and all that. I think it'll help us figure out what to do for the festival, you know? Oh, and Sayuri and I already came up with a good plan. Really? For the festival? Yeah, so the plan is this, okay? You and Yuri collect information ahead of time on which clubs and classes are doing food booths. Then we take a map and plan the most efficient route so we can get the most of them before the lines get too long. Hey, that has nothing to do with the club. Well, you have to let me finish. Alright, fine, go ahead. Right, so basically we get all the food we can, and then we come back here and we all eat together. That's all. Wow, I got tricked twice by the same joke. Ooh, don't be a hater. It's not like you can come up with anything better. Look, even Yuri was thinking about it. No, I wasn't. I would really prefer to do something literature related. We can eat together anytime. The festival is a unique opportunity. Besides, it's been quite a while since we've seen any new interest in the club. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We really get a shot at showing people what the literature club is about. I'll tell you what, we can do both, right? We'll make time for your food mission and still put together a public event. Oh my gosh, yes. I was just joking, but that's a really good idea. Well, I'm glad that's settled. I think the question is how to come up with the event that demonstrates everything you can get out of the literature club. Well, that's kind of tough because everyone gets something different out of the club. Okay, how about this? Let's go around and have each of us talk about what we've gotten out of the club so far. That could really help us figure out what kind of reputation we want to build. Yeah, that's too embarrassing. Aw, but you'd have so much to talk about. That's exactly why. And I'm sure Natsuki feels the same way. Well, maybe, but I didn't plan on arguing against it or anything. I mean, it's the literature club. We talk about this stuff together, right? And the only way to get more comfortable with it is to suck it up and do it. Oh, you're not wrong. I'm sorry for being resistant. It's not good to say suck it up because it sounds like the feelings don't matter. Right, my bad. It's just a habit I need to break. Well, anyway, who's gonna start? I'll start. I was the first to join after all. Wouldn't that be me? No, I want to go first. Fine, you can start. I don't mind. Yay! So, gosh, it feels like so long ago. I think I joined because I wanted to have fun sharing poems with people. It seems like it would be a safe way to express myself, you know, Like if it's just a poem, then I can share it without feeling like I'm burdening everyone with my problems. And I thought it would be a really good way to get to know other people too. So yeah, I was really surprised when I walked in and it was just Monica. And she was sleeping. I don't remember that. Oh, don't remind me of that. Oh gosh. Yeah, but it seems like so much fun to help start a new club. Especially since writing helped me so much, I wanted to see it help other people too. But it ended up being me who was inspired. Because I remember feeling like Monica was just so sweet and mature, and that I could trust her with anything. It made me feel a lot less alone having someone who knew even the bad things about me. And at that point, I knew the literature club was going to be special for a lot of people. Yeah, I felt the same way. It really helped give the club a more cohesive vision. Yeah, and then Yuri joined, but she was so different from us, and Natsuki too. I think for Yuri, it really helped for me to take the lead before she was able to open up a little. But Natsuki was kind of the opposite, where she wasn't really ready. She wasn't ready to get really close to someone really quickly. I never thought about that sort of thing. I really feel like I've gotten a lot better at understanding people's different needs. And that makes me really happy, because my friends are just the most important thing to me. And whatever new members we get, I want to help them in those ways too. I don't know if I would have continued coming to the club if it weren't for you. Really? I know it wasn't too long ago, but it hurts to think about my behavior back then. I was really short-sighted. The only reason I came was to find others who were into fantasy. I suppose that was my idea of making friends with people. And I remember feeling uncomfortable because you and I have such different energy. I had such a specific idea of the kind of person I could be friends with. So when Sayori tried so hard to get to know me, I felt like I was just wasting her time. I think I was naive to assume that similar interests were the key component of friendship. Sayori and I were able to be friends because she always thinks about the needs of other people. That's something I never knew how to do or even thought to do. But I stayed in the club thanks to that, and I started trying as hard as I could to understand people better. You really went above and beyond when it came to that. I was just super impressed. Well, I always hated that I didn't know how to behave like a person who was easily liked by others, like the two of you can. And because of that, I spent so much time thinking about my own behavior and all the wrong things I said. But the whole time, I should have been thinking about other people instead, not myself. Once I started doing that, I was able to make friends with everyone else. Oh, also, I discovered that sometimes I'm a better communicator when I take the time to write, rather than speak. It's so strange the way things turned out. It's so far different from anything I've ever would have expected. But I'm happy. I suppose we don't always know what we really need. Oh my gosh, you're so cute that I'm just going to throw up. Wait, no, Natsuki's the one that throws up. Okay, please don't do that, Sayori. Besides, I'm not cute. Hey, isn't that my line? Oh, well, for me, it's actually true, so... What are you saying? Nothing. I finished my part, so somebody else take their turn. My heart. Sayori, take some deep breaths. Okay, fine, I'll go. Yuri, I can't believe you were complaining about doing this and still went before me. What a show off. I was just following up on Sayori. It was the easiest way to get it over with. Besides, you left out the most important thing that you got out of this club. I did? Yeah, a regular supply of your favorite cupcakes. Oh no, I forgot that too. Oh my god. I'm a traitor to the cupcake queen. Neither of you are forgiven. Looks like only Monica will be getting cupcakes next time. Monica's like, alright, cool. Works for me. No! I can't eat that many cupcakes. Yeah, true. Only Yuri can. Hey. Well, anyway, I'm just putting off talking. It's kind of hard to talk about this stuff. But I guess what it comes down to is that I'm in a much better place mentally than when I first joined. And that's because everyone helped me realize that I had some really toxic friendships going on outside the club. Yeah, I'll eat Natsuki's cupcakes all day, any day. Like, bring them in. I got them. It was honestly a really painful thing to go through, having to cut them out. It still hurts to think about. I'm sorry, Natsuki. It's fine, I knew it was for the best, and I was right. I guess for me it's all about feelings. I was only ever ridiculed for having feelings, so I thought the right thing to do was just ignore them. It took me a really long time to realize that it's not really how things are supposed to work. And I guess thanks to everyone who took the time to respect my feelings, even when I was being like the biggest jerk. I'm really sorry for being such a jerk to everyone. I was really the worst. Natsuki's voice chokes a little. We love you, Natsuki. I just hate that I was like that. Everyone did so much for me and I could never do anything in return. That's not true. Natsuki, you've done a lot more than you think. This club really wouldn't have been the same without you. I mean that. Remember how judgmental I was to you when you first showed up? It was like I couldn't accept anything other than my own idea of what a literature club was supposed to be. Apparently that was more important to me than the opportunity to bring you some happiness. You really taught me that anything that makes someone happy is worthy of respect. You even inspired me to start playing piano. That's something that means a whole lot to me. So there's no need to put yourself down. Okay. Natsuki wipes her eyes. You've helped me a lot too. It's so much fun to have you around. And you helped me become a better person. Oh my god, look, they're holding hands. They're holding hands, guys. Oh my goodness. Having a problem doesn't make you needy or inconvenient. It means there's something that needs to be better for you. And you always deserve that. I agree. Seeing us have some of the same struggles made me a better person as well. I wouldn't want to change anything about our time here. I don't think any of us would. I'm sorry I got all dramatic again. That's all I wanted to say, so Monika can go now. There's no need to apologize. It was something I wanted to talk about anyway because it made a big difference for me. I was always such a strict perfectionist who never took enough time to believe in the best of other people. But everyone kept proving me wrong. I made the mistake multiple times thinking that my way was best for everyone. Or thinking that I was needed to solve other people's problems. Did we just get a lag spike? For a very brief moment, it looks like. But I think being a leader means that you have to acknowledge that you're not perfect, and that the best thing you can do is help guide people, rather than to do everything for them. We're all good people. We're all equals. She said the thing. I think that's the most important thing I've gotten out of this club. Realizing what that really means. Sayori, what are you doing? I just thought that we should be writing some of these things down. Things about the club that are valuable to us. With a piece of chalk in her hand, Sayori writes the word trust on the chalkboard. This is because you showed me that I could trust you with everything about me, not just my good side. Oh, they're writing down the things. Suddenly, Yuri takes a piece of chalk as well. She writes, understanding. I owe a lot of gratitude to everyone who took the time to understand me, even though it was so difficult for me to express myself. In that case, Monika takes a piece of chalk as well and writes the word respect. I always thought I was a respectful person, but it took the club for me to realize that there was more to it than I thought, and I'm a better person because of it. I have another one. Saria writes balance. Sometimes people want different things out of a friendship, or they need time before they're ready to become close. So it's important to keep things balanced between you and the other person. Okay, I just want to say, like, all joking aside, I think it's really cute that they're bringing back the names of each like chapter of the side story as like a sure, I'll get that in a moment. As like part of the story itself. It's really nice that they're incorporating that. And Ramen's sister just requested a compliment for Glow Green using channel points. Well, Dave, I have known you for... oh god. At least 20 years. Like, well over that. And in all the time that I've known you, you have never judged me, and you have never... I guess turned on me. It's not really how I mean it, but like, you've always just accepted what I say, and you're just like, okay, cool. And I think that's honestly helped me through a lot. Just having a friend who you don't need to get too deep into things. You don't need to, like, you know, make me feel like shit about making stupid decisions. You're just there to support me, and you've always been that way. So I really appreciate that about you. Oh, welcome in, Troublemaker. That part hit you too? Oh, with the names? Yeah. That reminds me. Yuri writes reflection. I'm really good at the compliments. I'm really good at making people feel good about themselves when I speak from the heart, I guess. Because, I don't know. I take a lot of time thinking about what people mean to me and stuff like that. And I guess I don't say it outwardly enough. It usually just kind of swirls in my head. So when I'm given the opportunity to, I do what I can. I've always been a reflective person, but most of it has been nothing more than hating myself for all the things I thought I did wrong. Once I started reflecting on other people and not just myself, a lot of things changed for me. So I think that's the most important one for me. That's great, we have a whole list of things now. Suddenly everyone turns to look at Natsuki. Oh god. Well, everyone took all the chalk. Don't look at me like that, jeez. I know a lot of the game and could help you instead of a guide. Feel free to oh, we're just about done, actually, Troublemaker. We're at the end of the side stories, and I only have to go through Yuri's death without skipping and sit through 15 of Monika's monologues. That's it. And we're done. We've done everything. You could have just asked. Monika hands her a piece of chalk. Then Natsuki sighs and writes self-love. I don't know how far I've gotten with it yet, but it feels like things are at least on the right track. Oh, they're gonna write equals at the end. So there, that's my contribution. Together, everyone stares at the words on the board. Wasn't this club supposed to be about literature? It is, we still do a lot of literature. Friendship and literature. Yeah, you're right. Friendship and literature. Natsuki and Yuri gently nod as well. Hey, let's all take a picture together. Oh, we're getting 2 CGs here. That's the one thing I do know. And I know what they are. I've seen pictures of them, unfortunately. We don't have one yet, right? Hey, you're right. Make sure you send it to me after. Wait, can I brush my hair first or something? Oh, you're fine. You already have the best hair out of all of us. Everyone get together. I can't fit you all in. Okay. Okay, everyone ready? And click. I'm really glad we talked about this stuff. Oh, we don't get to see it yet? Is that it? It's easy to forget how far we've come with only 4 members. Yeah, I have so many happy thoughts right now. I'm getting some really good inspiration for a poem. You know, I feel the same way. I kind of want to get some writing done. Me too. I think I would like that as well. Everyone's looking at me again. I'll do it too, but I might not feel like sharing it. That's okay. The 4 members of the literature club disperse and return to their desks, each equipping themselves with a pen. Natsuki and Yuri give each other a quick glance, then start writing immediately. Sayori stretches, then does the same. But Monika's left tapping her pen against the paper, unsure of where to start. Just move your hand. Monika mouths to herself. Right the way into your heart. Her mindful of thoughts, memories, and inspiration, Monika navigates past her mental barriers and begins to write. It doesn't matter what, just that it's something new. And then she sees the code of the game. No, I'm kidding. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Aww. I'm really happy right now. You know, I'm getting the same way Sayori was feeling at the end there. I'm just filled with happy thoughts right now. Honestly, like, the cool thing about this is what everyone thought Doki Doki was before they got to Act 2. You know that? And now they actually have it's basically a full game dedicated to it, you know? Granted, it doesn't have the dating sim aspects to it, but at the same time, I don't know. That's nice. Oh, you know what it probably is, actually? I think I figured it out. I think that VM1 and VM2, this is VM1, right? I think VM1, since they said it's the control group, it's just the characters as they are, right? And yeah, this is the control sim. So it's just the characters as they are, left to just be as they are in the game, just existing, right? Whereas the main game, which is that VM2? I don't know what that is. Anyway, is also started from the very beginning. None of these side stories happen. It starts from the very start with Monica giving like admin privileges to the game. Yeah, so base game starts before any of the side stories, and it's just, well, that wouldn't really work, actually. You might be right, because they have to form the club first. Granted, maybe it's just the way it starts is the club already exists, you know? VM2 is a completely different game. VM2 is Project Libitina. VM1 is DDLC. And this is the control group, which is neither. Okay. I don't fully understand, but it's something that I might be interested in looking into more. Actually, Troublemaker, I don't know if you're in the Discord. Oh, achievement unlocked, friendship and literature. Libitina is test VM, isn't it? I was gonna say, if you're in the Discord, you could, if you know any good like theories, like videos that kind of discuss it, you know, that'd be kind of cool. I would love to watch it later. There we go. We got everyone say cheese and everyone make a funny face. Game theory. Did they actually cover DDLC in Project Libitina? And we also got this one. Oh, damn. Hi, Monica. MatPat actually, okay. I will say MatPat, I'm not a MatPat hater. I just usually dislike his theory style format because it comes off a certain way that I'm not, I don't know how to really word it. Again, I'm not a MatPat. I have granted kids to hell. Okay. I'm not a MatPat hater. I just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It feels very campy, I guess, in a way. Okay, so now we just need to get to Weekend with Yuri. Campy is not the right word either. I don't know. I don't really know how to put it into words. You say he's very accurate, but some of his theories go against the game or go against facts that exist in games. His Hollow Knight theory was absolutely abysmal. It was awful. His Subnautica theory was also really bad. Okay, since we don't have skip after choices on, we can just keep skipping without worrying because there is a choice right before Yuri's weekend. I have a lot of experience skipping through all the entire game because I had to do it like 6 or 7 times since I started. Now we're gonna have to just click Natsuki 1,000 times. Click out of her face there, spam click. And we get a skip again. That's the thing with MatPat. He's he's very accurate until he's not, ultimately. Oh, you used to speedrun this game? That's kind of cool. Yeah, you've definitely been through this game a lot more than us. Question, does the speedrun include skipping text or not? No skips? I find it so interesting, people speedrunning visual novels. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. No skips would be torture. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it. I just find it very interesting because it's not your typical speedrun type of game. It's just like, yeah, we're just skipping through text and clicking on certain spots when it's necessary. When you really come down to it, you know? Yeah, fingers destroyed. Okay, this is the final day. Just to be safe, I'm gonna do a save here. All right, here we go. Moment of truth right around the corner. Yeah, hi, Yuri. Gotta get through this. Just Monica. Just Monica. Yeah, troublemaker. Dave filled me in on this. Apparently the autosave, if I just keep loading that, it works. Is that true? Okay. So here we go. Moment of truth. Oh, Yuri, you good? Now that's what I call self-love. So like if I do load and then autosave, or no? Use main menu. Wait, go to main menu. Oh, okay. But it doesn't let you escape. Oh, that's so freaky. I love that. That's genuinely awful. Like, oh, you try to escape, but you keep getting brought back. Oh, I've lost track. And one load? Am I on one load now? I've lost track. I was just zoning out. One more menu. And then load from autosave? But that autosave is from earlier. Is it still gonna let me, is that gonna still do it though? Interesting. Oh wait, did I actually break it though? Wait, hold on. Wait, what? I think it's actually broken now. Did we like actually break it? Guys, we actually broke it. We like genuinely broke it, and I can't get out of this. Oh. What did we do? We actually fucking broke the game. Okay, let's quit and restart. Like, I know the point, wait, unable to sync files. Uh-oh. Did I break it? Like, break it? Okay, no, we're good, we're good. Ooh, that was actually fucking terrifying for a moment. I was like, no, don't make me. Would I have to do everything again? I guess I could spam click through it, but hey, we got the Yuri one, right? Yep. Oh. Artwork drawn by Satchley in 2018 of Monica and Yuri have a sleepover. Easily disturbed. They're playing PlayStation, okay. Monica, hello. Between that picture and this picture, Yeah, I think Monica is my favorite of the four girls. Natsuki is a close second, Sayuri's in third, Yuri's in last, but I don't think any of them are like bad. Traditional Chinese? How am I gonna read that? All right. Can I skip through this stuff if I do this? No, I have to just manually skip this stuff. You can only do that after your first, I guess for this part I would do Chinese. Nope, nope, nope. We're fucking dedicating ourselves to the English. I'm already here. This isn't for speed. Yeah, I know you know it's a game, Monica, and you know what? I love you. I think you're fantastic. Okay, so the 15 dialogue that I sit through, does it include, like, is it total? Does it include ones that I've sit through on previous playthroughs? Because I've already done 2 so far, I believe. It's a whole new set. Okay, so we have to do 15. We're gonna be here for a while. I'll get an achievement when it's done, though. And I'm going to read it all. I know I can auto through it. Actually, I can auto through this part, can't I? That's still not as fast. Okay. Okay, what was this? It was like here and like... I don't care about that one. I guess text speed doesn't affect Monica because Monica kind of plays by her own rules. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's her hairstyle. Maybe it's the ribbon. Her just general personality. But Monica is definitely the best of the four girls in my opinion. And it's not just because of the Just Monica meme. I genuinely, out of the four of them, like her the most. Like, even outside of this whole creepy bullshit that she does in like the main game, just as a character and human being. Wow, human being. What the fuck am I saying? But yeah, Natsuki's a very close second, I think. I like the nuance to her character and the surprising depth as well. Sayuri's right behind it because, you know, depression vibes. I get it. Heavily relate. Yuri, I just feel like I relate to the least. She's the least interesting to me personally. She's not a bad character. She is cute. She does have some depth to her. She does have, like, I like her, like, sassiness and everything that she has to work through. But out of the four girls, I think, like, least interesting personally. Least compelling would be a better wording. Least compelling to me. I'm actually not recording any of this, Monica. This is all being streamed. The VODs will be deleted after the stream. There will be no evidence left of this, so say what you need to say. Jump scare me. Jump scare me. Do it. You won't, you coward. Jump scare me. It's going to be a text box and then a jump scare. And there it is. Ah, got him. All right, here we go. All right, I'm ready, Monica. What do you got for me? We got 15 monologues to sit through. I have approximately 35 minutes left of stream. Hopefully that'll be enough. If not, we'll go a little longer. We do it for Monica. It's what she deserves. Getting kind of lost in her eyes, I'm not gonna lie. What do you wanna talk about? Please. I'm right here, Monica. Whatever you want to talk about. Ah, here we go. There's a really popular character type called tsundere. It's someone who tries to hide their feelings by being mean and fussy or trying to act tough. I'm sure it's obvious, but Natsuki was really the embodiment of that. At first, I thought she was just like that because it's supposed to be cute or something. But once I started to learn a little more about her personal life, it made a little more sense. It seems like she's always trying to keep up with her friends. You know how some friend groups in high school just make a habit of picking on each other all the time? I think it's really gotten to her, so she has this really defensive attitude all the time. And I'm not even going to talk about her home situation. But looking back, I'm glad I was able to provide the club as a comfortable place for her. Not that it matters anymore, considering she doesn't even exist. I'm just reminiscing, that's all. This is fucking weird after just doing the side stories. Alright, someone mark in chat. This is 1 of 15. And let's keep track together as we get them. 1. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're about to continue with your theory crafting right after I finish? Excellent. Yeah, after I finish, I'm tempted to go on VR chat. Oh, number 2, here we go. Hey, have you heard of the term yandere? It's a personality type that means someone is so obsessed with you that they'll do absolutely anything to be with you. Usually to the point of craziness. They might stalk you to make sure you don't spend time with anyone else. They might even hurt you or your friends to get their way. But anyway, this game happens to have someone who can basically be described as yandere. By now, it's pretty obvious who I'm talking about. And that would be Yuri. She really got insanely possessive of you once she started to open up a little. She even told me I should kill myself. I couldn't even believe she said that. I just had to leave at that point. But thinking about it now, it was a little ironic. Anyway, a lot of people are actually into the yandere type, you know? I guess they really like the idea of someone being crazy obsessed with them. People are weird. I don't judge though. Also, I might be a little obsessed with you, but I'm far from crazy. It's kind of the opposite actually. I turned out to be the only normal girl in this game. It's not like I could ever actually kill a person. Just the thought of it makes me shiver. Oh come on, everyone's killed people in games before. Does that make you a psychopath? Of course not. But if you do happen to be into the yandere type, I can try acting a little more creepy for you. Then again, there's already nowhere else for you to go, or anyone for me to get jealous over. Is this a yandere girl's dream? I'd ask Yuri if I could. I'm down. Alright, that was 2. I'm practically going over the whole story line by line, looking for any connections with Project Libitina. So what is Project Libitina? I don't actually know. It's the thing about the is it the project that they're working on with Monica, or is it the one that Yuri was reading about with like the human experimentation? Or is it something entirely different that I don't know? The name sounds really familiar, I just can't remember. You know what's a neat form of literature? Rap. I've already read this one. But this would be 3. My friends got into it, kept me, you know, it might be challenging in poetry. If only a rapper was in our poetry literature. There we go. There's number 3. Monica, I love you. Give me a kiss, smooch, smooch. So cute, though. Very cute, though. The test is the test VM Portrait of Markov, Yuri's book, and where the four girls came from. Okay. Hey, what's your favorite color? Mine is emerald green. It's the color of my eyes. That's not conceited or anything, is it? I just meant that I feel some kind of special connection to it. Like it's part of my identity. Does it happen to also be your favorite color, Scoot? It's just a guess. Because you've been looking into my eyes for a while now. Okay, that's 4. Interesting. Yeah, so the girls... Where is that reference? Project Libitina. I've definitely heard that name before. The girls came from it. Is it from emails? Or perhaps the files? The girls came from it. And they were put into this. So confusing. There was an ARG built into the base game that went to a website that had a bit more info. Okay. I'm guessing MatPat's video covers that, right? I'm guessing I get the email once I get all the achievements. Okay. You know what's kind of creepy? Even though I deleted everyone else's files, I can still kind of feel them. It's like all their lines are still lingering in the air, whispering in the back of my head. Imagine if after someone you knew died, you just started hearing their voice in your head. Maybe I just wasn't thorough enough, but I'm too afraid to delete anything else because I might really break things. Like if I miss with any files relevant to me, I might accidentally delete myself. And that would ruin everything, wouldn't it? I don't know what it's like on your end, but we should both make sure to avoid something like that at all costs. I believe in you, Scood. Oh, well, thank you. 10 more to go. This isn't so bad. This is like 1 minute per, including the wait time. So it's been roughly 5-6 minutes and we've done 5 of them. Okay, so we'll be done in like 15 to 20 minutes total. That's really not so bad. Half a minute in between. Oh, okay. So 30 seconds to wait and then like 30 seconds to a minute to read. Yeah, that's really not so bad. Hey, you know what book? You know that book you were reading with Yuri? Portrait of whatever it was called? Oh, wait, it was in the chat just now. Markov, yes. It's funny because I'm pretty sure that book... actually, I don't think I should be talking about this. We literally were just talking about it in chat. Sorry, just forget I said anything. You know you can delete characters? I deleted characters before. Characters can be deleted. It would suck if you deleted me. I'm glad you haven't deleted me. Good thing you didn't delete me. It would really break things if things got deleted here. It's good that they do that because some people might genuinely not put the pieces together and then like get the reminder from Monica and be like, oh shit, that's what it is. Dude, how much do you read? It's way too easy to neglect reading books. If you don't read much, it almost feels like a chore compared to all the other entertainment we have. But once you get into a good book, it's like magic. You get swept away. I think doing some reading before bed every night is a pretty easy way to make your life a little bit better. I actually do want to get back into the Halo novels. I started the first one and never finished. It helps you get good sleep and it's really good for your imagination. It's not hard at all to just pick some random book that's short and captivating. Before you know it, you might be a pretty avid reader. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And the two of us could talk about the latest book you're reading. That sounds super amazing. Actually, that doesn't sound bad. Also, that was number 7. That was number 7. We missed 6. We were talking about some other stuff, but that was number 7. Yeah, Monica, that might actually, you might be onto something. I might get into the Halo novels again. Scoot, do you get good sleep? Usually, for the most part. It can be really hard to get enough sleep nowadays, especially in high school when you're forced to wake up so early every day. I'm not in high school. I'm sure college is a little bit better since you probably have a more flexible schedule. I'm also not in college. Then again, I hear a lot of people in college stay up all night anyway for no real reason. Is that true? I wouldn't know. Anyway, I saw some studies that talked about the horrible short-term and long-term effects caused by lack of sleep. It seems like mental functions, health, and even lifespan can be dramatically impacted by it. I just think you're really great and wanted to make sure you're not accidentally destroying yourself. So try to keep your sleep on track, okay? I'll always wait for you in the morning, so make sure to put your own well-being before anything else. You're right. All right, guys, I'm gonna end here. Gonna get some sleep. We'll wake up in the morning and continue talking to Monica. No, I'm kidding. I literally cannot do that. Because I'm so captivated by her eyes. How many different dialogues does Monica have? I heard it was an absurd amount. But how many is it actually? Does anyone know? Or can anyone look into that? I was gonna record today. Like 60 to 80. Oh, okay. This is pretty random, but I always thought spicy food was kind of funny. Like, didn't plants evolve to be spicy to prevent them from being eaten? I literally just ate an entire jar of salsa today. I read somewhere that humans are the only species that actually enjoy spicy things. It's almost like we're making fun of the plants, using their defense mechanism to literally make our food more enjoyable. Like, imagine a monster that devours you whole because it enjoys the sensation of you struggling for your life while being digested. Sorry, that was kind of a weird analogy, I guess. It just came into my head. I'm not a monster or anything, but you're so cute I could eat you up. I'm joking. Gosh, I'm amusing myself a little too much, aren't I? Sorry for being weird. Well, by eat, she means like in a suggestive way. It's 56 plus specials like quitting the game, recording, and stuff like that. Okay. That's still quite a bit. Oh, that was also number 9. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was 9. Sorry, I zoned too. Did you say kiss? I did actually say that earlier, not just now though. That's suddenly, it's a little embarrassing, but if it's with you, I might be okay with it. No, wow, sorry. I really couldn't keep a straight face there. That's the kind of thing girls say in these kind of romance games, right? Don't lie if it turned you on a little bit. I wouldn't say turn on is the thing. It made me like, oh yeah, sure, let's do it. I'm kidding. Well, to be honest, I do start getting all romantic when the mood is right. But that'll be our secret. Tell me more, Monica. Oh, really? We only have 5 more? And then I have to leave? God, I don't want to leave. It was just starting to get good. I guess I can leave it like this, right? Like, exit out, go to the main menu, like the exit DDLC, finish that up, and then just quit the game. I don't have to delete Monica. I can leave it like this, and it'll always be there. Man, I wish there was a piano in here. I never got to finish that song I was working on, because I actually don't need to finish the game again. I don't need to get to the credits. I don't need Act 4. I can leave it here. And after I worked so hard on it, I never even got a chance to play it for you. You did actually several times play it for me. Well, it is what it is, right? No sense having any regrets. I already get to be here with you forever. That was 11. It is honestly your fault, Monica. That's true. If you want to, like, I could go, like, download a piano asset. I could bring it into the room for you. Like, I would come right back. I actually don't even have to leave this seat. I can do it from my seat. I'll add that into the room, and I'll stay right here. I'll listen to you play your piano. Could she make her own? I don't know that she has the assets for it. Well, she has a Twitter account, so she has access to the internet. You put the file in a directory under the game and it appears. That'd be so funny. Yo, Unless Q. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Welcome in. I hope you're having a scootiful day, my friend. You know, this is just some kind of tacky romance game, right? I kind of have to ask. What made you consider even playing it in the first place? Were you that lonely? The first time I played it, it's because I heard that a lot of people were talking about it and that it has a crazy twist. I knew it was going to end up being horror, like psychological horror. So I knew that was coming. I'd say that's what drew me to it in the first place. I feel a little bad for you. Oh, don't. I'm quite happy. But I guess everything worked out perfectly in the end for both of us. I got to meet you and you're not lonely anymore. I don't know that I was lonely though, which is something I haven't been able to say for a while. I can't help but feel like this was fate. Don't you feel that way too? I'm so happy we have this ending together. Monica, do I have bad news for you? Yeah, I hope you're not a jealous person. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, that was I zoned out. I'm so glad you're still keeping track, Dave. Thank you. Ooh. You're trying. Yeah, it's easy to get distracted and just kind of zone out, especially during this kind of like content. 3 more. Okay, everyone. Oh, I clicked on the wrong tab. It's time to... I'm just kidding. I just used to really like saying that for some reason. I couldn't help but say it again. Come to think of it, didn't Natsuki and Yuri make fun of me for it once? Well, whatever. It's not like you ever made fun of me. You're too much of a sweetheart to do that, aren't you? Well, no, I will literally get a Steam achievement for this one. I'll get 2 Steam achievements for it, won't I? One for finishing 100% data collection and one for talking to her 15 times. 2 more. I know there are times you won't always be able to be here with me. Like if you need to go out or take care of other things, but I'll always have you in my thoughts, patiently waiting for you to come back. Come to think of it, if you copy my character file into a flash drive or something, you can always keep a part of me with you. I could do that too. Interesting. I guess it's kind of unorthodox, but I find it really romantic for some reason. Sorry, that's such a silly idea. I don't mean to be too needy or anything, but it's kind of hard when I'm so in love with you. How much do you want to bet someone has actually done that? I guarantee you someone has done that unironically. Like copied her character file onto a flash drive and carried it around with them. I've been like, I have Monica here with me. I'll be okay. I've seen how scary this fan base can get about the girls in this I have seen people like go too far. Like, I'm fine with you doing something like that. I'm fine with you if you're not hurting anyone. But there are some people who do, I feel, take it too far. That's like just very bad on their mental health is the main thing. You know, I hate to say it, but I think my biggest regret is that we couldn't finish our event at the festival. After we worked so hard to prepare and everything. I mean, I know I was focusing a lot on getting new members, but I was really excited for the performing part too. It would have been so much fun to see everyone express themselves. Of course, if we did end up getting any new members, I'd probably just end up deleting them anyway. Well, with the hindsight I have now, that is. Gosh, it feels like I've kind of grown as a person ever since you joined the club. You really helped inspire me to look at life from a new perspective. Just another reason for me to love you. Achievement unlocked. She will never be real. Now I just have to wait for her next dialogue so I can exit. I could alt F4 and then reboot, but it will be faster to just wait, I feel, at this point. Sorry, I actually caught myself staring at her there. All right, exit DDLC. Monica, you can stay there. You know what? Honestly, let's first there we go. So she can follow us to the desktop. Never too far from her. Oh, hi. Hi. Oh, sorry. Wow. Anyway, did I not get the 100% achievement though? Breakthrough. Achieve 100% data collection. Oh, do I need to see all the files as well? Oh, so do I get the hidden, if I read the hidden files, do I keep them? Because I remember there's one like in here that I got or something. The files are not part of it. You said, I am assuming you have all the hidden files, but the files are not part of it? Let me just throw this on real quick. My music? How would we have missed a song? Why is there a plus there that's grayed out? Same with this one. Oh, because I already have them on a playlist. Yeah, data collected 99%. Candy hearts. What about it? EDLC plus. Oh. Is that supposed to go like that? Is that how that song always went? Is this different? You could find out after. I'm guessing that means the answer is no. Did that change anything? Data percent collected 100%, but I didn't get the achievement for it. Oh, 59 now. Yeah, it is. Email time? Let's move on. So the song was always like that. Oh, wait. Oh, hearts with a Z. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's this song. Okay. Anyway, back to where we were. There we go. That's much better. Get rid of this over here. Close that. That's fine. That's fine. This is fine. Oh, email. Yeah, sorry. Let's move on. We need to have a meeting about shifting our focus a little bit. We've reset VM1 how many times now? For real. We've definitely collected as much data as we can from it all at this point. We've definitely collected as much data as we can from it at this point. We just need to work with what we have and try to increase the stability of our connection to VM2. So VM1 is Doki Doki Literature Club. They've reset it many times. Correct? VM2 is Project Libitina, which they're saying down here. We've obviously gotten spoiled by the ease of access that VM1 offers us, but it's just unrealistic for someone in real life to be granted a level of elevation even close to monitor kernel access. If we can't establish a stable connection to VM2, then how can we expect to get anywhere when the same scenario inevitably occurs to our own universe? Interesting. Anyway, thanks to Rose's work, we were able to acquire a few rudimentary logs. I have an idea on how to increase connection stability to VM2 while maintaining weak hypervisor access to everyone inside on an individual basis. Ironically, it has to do with something that they're building in their own VM. I'll go into detail in a more formal report, but some of the log files indicate attempts of theirs to pool together the access potential of multiple individuals into a single parallel unit. It sounds ridiculous, but if they actually get somewhere with it, then we might have a solid entry point that doesn't heavily intrude upon the VM. I'm going to spin up a read-only hypervisor that we can use to test different ideas like this. The elevation level will be set to monitor adjacent runtime level access. The VM will just be named Test VM for now, although the parallel access unit they're building in the VM seems to be called Project Libitina, according to the few logs we have. We can change the name once we actually get a decent picture of it. Marla? What does Marla mean? I mean, I see it's monitor adjacent runtime level access, but what does Marla mean in this context? I still didn't get the achievement, just for the record. Even though I have 100% data collection right here. Marla is the name of the pro tag for the test VM. Monitor kernel access. Monica. Oh. Interesting. I never made that connection. So how do I get the achievement? Do I just quit? Last part is in the side stories. It doesn't have a notification for some reason. Oh, okay. Sometimes Steam doesn't immediately load achievements once you get them, and it requires you to close the game, so I thought that might be it. Oh yeah, look, side stories. There we go. Achievement unlocked, breakthrough. I don't like whatever's happening here, though. What are we doing? Am I gonna get jump scared? I'm gonna get fucking jump scared, aren't I? Something bad is going to happen. Ooh, buckle up, kiddos. Here we go. Like dogs genetically molded by humans and unconditionally loyal in exchange for a food and shelter. Connection lost. That's unfortunate. We can close this now, right? Yes. Much better. Much more comforting. There we go. Whew, all right. Sorry, I got distracted again there. My bad. I'm gonna end the stream now. I've got something I need to do. Someone I need to talk to. Sorry. Anyway, streams will be canceled going forward. I feel like I have something else that's much more important to me now. And oh, sorry, I keep getting distracted. I'm so sorry. Stream. No. We're not canceling the stream. Sorry, that was a misspeak on my part. Anyway, all jokes aside. Oh man. Okay, let's stop with this now. Let's end it on a high note here. How about this one? This one's really cute. And we'll put on... I love Dear Sunshine. We'll put Dear Sunshine. That's gonna be it for Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. We did it. We're done. We 100% it. We've seen everything this game has to offer except for the hidden files. I saw one for the Stonks achievement, which I can't show off here, but it's more about like Monica being in control and them trying to like figure stuff out and use it for some other purpose and whatever. Interesting stuff. Definitely interested in looking in these theories videos. Stream for tomorrow will be canceled because I have something else I have to attend to. As well as next Saturday. Sorry, no raft achievement hunting for a bit. Christmas and all that, you know how it be. Next stream will be on Sunday, where I'm getting Spiritfarer, and we'll be doing that every self-care Sunday going forward. Our new Wednesday and Friday stream is going to be Celeste, where I'm going to be finishing the Seasides as well as doing chapter 9. And when we're done with that, oh baby, it's time for Dark Souls. I'm ready to fucking suffer. I'm really not ready to suffer. Honestly speaking, we will probably be starting Dark Souls at the beginning of next year, which is just a few weeks away. Everyone have a safe Christmas and New Year's. Join the Discord if you want to chill with us in that time. I always love meeting new people, chatting it up, having a good time. And although our journey with Doki Doki is over, our journey with streaming is far from over. So I hope you'll join me for it. Have a beautiful, scootiful rest of your night, everyone.